to another Training Ground Dispatch here on the SDH Network, presented by Kaiser Permanente. I'm Madison Crews. Join with me is one of the voices of Atlanta United in Jason Longshore. We're here to get you ready as Atlanta United prepares to go on the road to face Austin this Wednesday. Quick turnaround, Jason. We have 3 matches in less than 8 days, I think, and it's going to be nuts. So looking at the schedule and everything, how does the team get things together and get things rolling, especially with this quick turnaround?
You just have to do the best you can at the moment, because you're going from game time temperatures in Chicago on Saturday of upper 50s. It's kind of weird at Soldier Field because you're right on the lake. So it was 70 degrees in Chicago, but it was a lot colder than that at Soldier Field coming right off of the lake. So you're going from that to coming back to Atlanta, getting a couple of training sessions in, and then going to Austin, where the game time has already been moved back at least 30 minutes because the high for Wednesday is set to be 105 degrees. Not fun to play in. Kickoff temperature could still be in the upper 90s. So you have to manage, but it's this entire balancing act that the team has to deal with right now of managing workload, managing climate changes, managing all of that. We found out today from Ronny Deila that Brooks Lennon is dealing with a possible injury. Pedro Amador, not sure if he's going to be back yet after his injury last week. So you have injury on top of potential fatigue, which could be anybody. You think of guys who have missed time this season already, like Derek Williams, like Mateusz Klich, like Tristan Muyumba. You know, how is everybody feeling after what they did in Chicago? Can they go Wednesday? Can they go Wednesday and Saturday? Can they go Saturday? You're dealing with all of that on top of not playing very well at the moment. So that's a whole lot to balance. And I wish I had an answer as to how you do it. It's definitely a difficult one for Ronny Deila and his coaching staff.
Well, we got to hear a little bit about the process, especially how you manage games like this and stretches like this. We got the chance to talk to Tristan Muyumba and head coach Ronny Deila today after training in media availability, and here's what they had to say.
Yeah.
It's still the first third of the season or so, but how important is Wednesday?
I think it's important because it's the next game. So every game is important, but this one more because it's just the next one after the defeat of Saturday. We need to go in Austin and show a different face about ourselves and get back with the 3 points.
Something that's been interesting seeing you guys in training pretty consistently and then seeing the matches, it doesn't feel like the same team at times. Have you been able to kind of put your finger on why things look a certain way here but not in matches?
No, to be honest, we work hard. We work hard every day, and we compete every day together. And but we know the match is not really the same, and the challenge is to be able to reproduce what we are doing on the training, on the Saturday or when we play on match day. Yeah.
Austin is a pretty good defensive team. How do you guys get 3 points on Wednesday against them?
I think just try to do our job. Try to be consistent in the 90 minutes of the game. Try to start well. We know it's not going to be a easy game as often, but we know we have some stuff to show, and we able to cause some problem to this team.
What are some of the challenges that Austin brings to you guys on Wednesday?
They are a good organized team, what we talked about, like it's very clear roles. They are a team that plays, so we need to defend really well, and also we need to do something on the ball when we get it. And we know where the spaces are, we know what we have to stop, and then it's about doing that not only for 45 minutes but for 90 minutes, or for not 85 minutes but 90 minutes. So it's been being good in these things. And then it's the heat. I understand it's going to be over 100, and that's a lot. So that's also to deal with that. It's going to be important.
Ronny, how difficult is it to manage that mood of the locker room where you don't want them to get too down, you want them to feel supported, but you also want them to feel urgency as well?
It's difficult, but at the end, you know, you can't act. So I'm not the actor, you know. You need to be honest. And if you can't handle the honesty, then we are not good enough. And that's what I say all the time, you know. That's what I mean about the talent, you know. Talent brings you some places, but it doesn't bring you all the way. It's about, and again, the organization, the discipline, the team spirit, you know, that is in the bottom. And if you can't be honest, then it's very difficult to have an effect on each other. Because everything you say is you can feel it's not real. And that's one thing. And to be silent is another thing. So I'd rather be the vocal one and say what I have in my stomach, and then those who choose to be silent, they choose that. We have to get other places then to open up because you have to get out what you feel. But if you go into yourself, and I call it into your own shell, and protect yourself, or in a protect modus, then we are not at the group. Then we are not a family. You know, we are there for each other. We are not there to attack each other. We are there to do each other better. But then you have to also understand that we need to be honest with each other. And when you're honest both ways, then you create relationships. And that's what we want to do. So when, you know, the way you speak, and is of course you have to do that with respect. But in the end, I can't compromise myself. It's when I do that, and I felt a little bit lately that I've been a little bit compromising, and that's never work. You know, we have to be very, very clear what we expect from each other, and what's expected on the pitch and off the pitch. That's the one. And I think that was a good talk after the game, but we have many of these talks during the season, and we have that good effect with them as well. But now, of course, we are in a period, especially away, that we are struggling a bit more than at home. We should look at the way we play, and that's natural, of course. Then we have to come together and see positive on the situation, and then attack the situation.
I loved hearing from Ronny Deila, I think, especially because being on post game and hearing his words after that matchup, I think this thing that stuck out to me was you got to be accountable. You have to take what has happened, and you got to look in yourself, and you can't feel sorry for yourself. Not in this moment, not anymore, not now. You have to take it, and you got to move on. You got to go forward, because if you stay stuck and you stay in yourself and you don't get out of it, then it's going to hurt you, and it's going to hurt the team going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I go back to what Ronny said about wanting players to take responsibility. Accountability is part of that, and also being more consistent. And I think that's what kind of stuck with me. I said it after the final whistle in Chicago. I felt better about the performance in the loss than I did in the draw against Nashville, where you were outplayed for the majority of the match and had 30% of the ball for the majority of the match, which is not sustainable for the way this team is built, and it's not the identity that this team wants to have. One of the other things that stuck out to me today that Ronny Deila said was, you know, he's tried to find common ground with this group. He mentioned it in a way of kind of saying that he had compromised to try to get them going, and it's not working. So, you know, you've got to find this balancing act. That's why I ask him about, you don't want guys to feel down. You want guys to feel supported and loved. And you also want guys to feel the urgency of the situation where you're not winning and everybody expects this team to be winning, and they're not. So how do you hit on all of that? It's a real challenge. And I think the best way for Ronny and his coaching staff to do it is to stay true to themselves and stay true to their principles of play. And the team is going to have to be more consistent in their execution of what they've worked on since the first day of preseason.
I think consistency is going to be huge, especially going up against Austin, because we talked about it. Austin also is coming off of a loss heading into this double match week as well. But they're kind of getting their footing again. We know how solid they are defensively, especially with that back line. But we also know that they're kind of getting on speed a little bit, especially offensively. You get Brandon Vasquez going, which is a familiar face for a lot of Atlanta United fans, a lot of everyone within the Atlanta United club. very familiar with Brandon Vasquez and what he can bring as well. So it'll be interesting to see the chess match between both of these sides on Wednesday with how you manage players, especially heading into not only Wednesday's match, but Saturday and also maybe Sunday's match too. And how you balance that. Plus, I mean, you're dealing with 150-degree heat possibly, especially in Austin.
Yeah, I mean, just from a lineup perspective, Austin went with what looked like a line of 3/5 against Cincinnati in the weekend where they lost. Atlanta did the same. Does Atlanta stick with that in this game? You might be without both of your starting fullback/wingbacks in this one if you don't have Lennon and you don't have Amador. Then you're looking at Matt Edwards, you're looking at Ronald Hernandez, and then you're looking further down the line of possible solutions in Saba Lobjanidze and Luke Brennan and Edwin Mosquera. You know, the Edwards Hernandez side of it, you need them to get forward and join the attack to make this team more balanced. And that's not their comfort level as much, especially if Hernandez is on the left and getting forward from the left. You know he's going to do it. You know he's going to give you everything that he has, but he's not as effective getting forward from that side. He's a right-sided player. Matt Edwards is just getting more and more comfortable as we go. He's played 10 games this year. He's been growing and growing and growing, but you're going to need even more from him if he ends up getting the call in this match. If you go with one of the wingers in a wingback position, you're going to need them to defend and hold up their end of the bargain on that side, which is not their strong suit either. So real challenges. And I think you do have to look at guys like Almiron, guys like Williams, guys like Click, who are on the older side of this roster. And can they give you 90 minutes 3 times Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday? Probably not in all of their situations. So, and Click came out in the second half in Chicago. How much can they give you in this game? And then do you just wait and deal with Saturday when you get to it? Or do you start to look at road game versus home game? And do we have to be really smart about not burning ourselves out chasing road points when we need home points? Points count the same, but we know in this league, you are more likely to get points at home. So that's a lot of stuff. And more than anything, you've got to get back to the principles of play that this team has. And you just haven't seen it consistently enough. It's very hard to do when you've had the injuries and the lineup changes that you've been forced to have. Got to find something here. And Austin is a team that has been, as you mentioned, surprisingly good defensively. Didn't think that would be their strong suit this year. Thought they would be devastating in the attack. It does feel like it's starting to get going for them. They had a little bit of a get right last week in the midweek when they beat El Paso in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. They were down 2-0. They came back to win that. It didn't really carry over to the weekend game against Cincinnati. We'll see if they've got it when they host us on Wednesday.
It'll be a hot match, a hot day, and just we're all just going to try to get through, especially as the heat dies down. As we are recording this, we also found out at media today that the match will be pushed back 30 minutes. It was initially supposed to start at 8:30. It is now going to start at 9 p.m. on Wednesday. Could we possibly see it push back another 30 minutes? Who knows? Because it's still slated to be around 97, 100 when even we start the match at 9 p.m. But we'll see. For right now, 9 p.m. is the kickoff time for Wednesday as Atlanta United goes on the road to face Austin. You can listen to the match on 92.9 The Game and the Odyssey app. You can also watch it on MLS Season Pass. Abe Gordon and John Nelson will have the pregame show. Time to be determined, depending on all the chaos that will be figuring out timing and everything. But they will have the pregame and the postgame show for you. And then Mike Conti and Jason Longshore will be over at Q2 Stadium to call the match. And I'll also be there as well because we're having something special happen at the end of that matchup too. 30 minutes afterwards, Atlanta United Unified will take on the Austin Unified team. That is going to be at atlutd.com/live with myself and Joe Freihofer. So double match week means double the fun, which means double the action in soccer. So make sure y'all tune in to not only 92.9 The Game, but also tune in to atlutd.com/live for the Unified match.